What's up, gang? How you guys doing? It is Lieutenant Sal Blue, 28-year law enforcement veteran and the author of the top 25 mistakes en route to the good life. Coming at you today with my daily podcast, man. My top 25 mistakes podcast. And by the way, guys, just to touch on a little something here, right? When I talk about my top 25 mistakes, man, and right now I'm giving away 10,000 autographed copies to you guys. When I talk about this book is took some work for me to go ahead and open up and just be fully transparent and just talk about some of the mistakes that I made during my law enforcement career. So, and some of the mistakes I've seen other people make. Now, they aren't just like law enforcement mistakes. There are life mistakes, guys. And when you make life mistakes, boy, do you set yourself back. And I'm trying to give you guys the heads up, right? The heads up. Check it out. Go over to lieutenantsalblue.com, pick up your free copy. Learn these mistakes so that you are not behind the eight ball, man, getting started in life, man. So, and that's what I'm going to do. That is my gift to you. My mistakes is your advantage in life. So get out there and do what you got to do and make it happen, man. Make it happen. So let me throw on my glasses so I can read a little bit of my notes. But actually, it's kind of bright, so I really don't have to. But anyway, today, right, as I'm doing a little bit of research on my podcast and my content and things that I like to talk to you guys about, I like to go through every single day writing down one or two things that I did wrong that I wish I would have done over and over again. Now, excuse me, this doesn't always happen, but sometimes in the midst of my job, I see people and they do things that I go, man, I know they wish they had that back again. I know they wish they could do that over again. And so that's what I like to do. So today, as I'm scrolling through and I'm looking at some social feeds and stuff like that, I saw something that really caught my eye, and it was on a religious billboard, right? You always see different things on like the church billboards and stuff. Sometimes it's crazy things, but most of the time it's just thought-provoking, right? So this was thought-provoking today, and as I saw it. And the question was, are you healed or trying not to think about it? Now, I know they were talking religious and it had religious connotations to it, but to me, it meant something different, right? And hopefully to everybody else, it means something different to you, right? Because we all go through trials and tribulations, things that we deal with in life, things that have rocked us to the core, things that have hurt us bad, things that have knocked us on our asses. And the question is, are you healed from it, right? Are you healed, or are you just trying not to think about it? You know, when I saw this question, right, I had to first give it some thought for myself, right? For myself, just seeing it, and that is why I'm talking about it today. And so when I first saw it, the first thing that crossed my mind was, what did I need healing from? Right? What did I need healing from? And so I started to just go through things and processes in my life of what could I possibly need healing from? Right? Could it be past relationships? Right? I had a lot of emotional scars from past relationships and things that I've had in my life, right? I've been through that. You know, could it be betrayed friendships? I had friendships, people who I thought were my friendships, that end up being like frenemies, you know, just waiting for me to have a downfall so they could jump ship in our friendships. I had those betrayed friendships. You know, could it be a scarred childhood? I had a lot of things in my childhood that could have scarred me dramatically scarred me in my childhood. I had a serious rough childhood, a lot of deaths and a lot of inappropriate things going on in my childhood. So could it be that, right? That happens to many people too. Or could it be rejection, right? I've witnessed plenty of rejection in my life, turned away for hundreds of thousands of reasons, but tons of rejection, right? Because I'm always trying. And and last but not least, man, lost opportunities. What opportunities did I squander? Did I blow? Right? That if I had it done over again, would I have lost those opportunities again? And so all of those things are going through my head, and I'm thinking, man, how did all these events affect me throughout my life? What did these events do that changed the course of my life or moved the course of my life in whatever direction that it moved my life in? What did it do? Because trust me, everything that happens in your life affects you in some shape, form, or fashion. And so I had to think about that, and I had to give it some deep, deep thought when it came to that question, right? And those things that happened in my life. The second thought I had was, did I really get over these events, or have I become better and better, right, at suppressing the pain these type of events bring to a person's life? You know, have I just gotten better at it, right? Have I just gotten, a lot of us talk about how we have gotten stronger through the pain, right? Things that we have gone through, how we can just better endure all of the abuse and pain and things that we go through, the rejection, everything, right? Just to keep going and keep going and keep going, and hopefully make it to that place that we call success, right? So we always talk about that, getting stronger. But are we getting stronger, or are we just getting better at suppressing the pain of the losses, the pain of the rejection, the pain of the frustration, right? Are we getting better at suppressing that? Because that is something that I really needed to ask myself. I really need to ask myself, am I getting better at suppressing this? And so when I thought about this, right, I realized this, right? In life, right? We all go through stuff. Some things hurt for a moment, right? Little things, maybe little puppy love, relationships, stuff like that. Some things hurt for a moment, and we learn the lesson from that. We learn the lesson from the things that hurt for the moment, and we keep moving forward. We keep making it happen, right? Because as we've learned, as we got older, life doesn't stop. No matter how much pain you're in, the sun rises and sets every single day. It doesn't stop. It doesn't wait for you. So you could be in pain and laying in your bed, and tomorrow's still going to come, right? If you wake up, tomorrow's still going to be there. So we have learned how to take a little bit of hurt and try to keep moving from that, and hopefully get a lesson out of that. But then, guys, right? Then there are the other things that rock us so hard, right? So hard emotionally that we are afraid to face it. We're afraid to face the truth of what just happened to us. So what do? We make up a lie, right? We usually make up a lie that we tell ourselves in order to function each and every day. We tell ourselves this big old lie. Listen, I had a tragedy so dramatic in my life, lost a family member to murder, right? And, not something I like to talk about at all, because it truly, truly, completely rocked my family to the core, destroyed my family in dramatic fashion when it happened. But for years and years and years, I just made up a fantasy about it, that it never really happened, that the person was just away on some secret mission, and I was just never going to see him again. And so that is how I was coping. That was my coping mechanism. I just made up a lie, right? And making up that lie, I never got over that pain for many years until I had to face it, right? And that pain worked its way back around to my dreams. It worked its way back around to my relationships. It worked its way back around to places that I worked, and everything about my life that worked its way back around to the surface, because it was a pain that I needed to deal with, guys. It was a pain I needed to deal with, as opposed to, right, trying not to think about it. I wasn't healed from it, and I needed to make sure that I went through that process to become healed from it. Guys, that is something that some of you are going to have to do. You're going to have to work through that process in order to get healed from it. Okay, now the only problem with this method, right, the lie method, is it suppresses the pain, but it never solves the root of the problem. Guys, the root of the problem is the key to us moving forward. The root of the problem is the key to our success. It is the root of the problem that is stopping you from having the life that you want. Right? So write it out, man. What is the root of the problem? What is the root of the pain? You know, a lot of times we go through pain and we call our friends and we call our moms and our dads and you know, and we soak and we sob about the situation, but do we ever really write it down? Right? Write down the pain we're feeling and why. Hey, what is going on with me right now? This is hurting real bad. You know, I've been crying for 3 days. What is going on? Why am I crying for 3 days? Do I feel betrayed, right? Do I feel an emptiness? Do I feel a loss? And you write these things down so that you can see them. Once you begin to see what you're suffering from, then you can understand how you can work through it and heal, right? But if you don't write it down, you just continue to suffer and you try to solve that problem in your head, it is just like any other problem that you try to solve in your head without writing it down. You're just going to become more and more confused, more and more hurt, and you're going to continually do the default, which is you're going to run from the pain. You're going to run from that problem. And that's what we do. We run from pain. Now, when we do this, it not only changes how we approach people, problems, and situations, guys, right, with the lie method, it also conditions us to move forward with a fractured version of the truth and an illogical philosophy on life. Right? And you guys have seen it, right? People who have been in traumatic relationships, right? People who have been in traumatic relationships, they have been done wrong by relationships. They bring all of that baggage, all of that pain, and all of that hurt, masked, by the way, masked in a smile, right? Into a new relationship. And they try to tell a person in a new relationship, oh, I'm healed. I'm over that person. Right? I'm over that person. But then the first sign or instance that they get that is similar to what they've been dealing with, they resort back to, I'm going to make sure I don't get hurt by this person because this was done by this person in the past. And if I would have seen that, then I wouldn't be in that situation that I am in now. Right? And so that's what they do. So they use all of those past experiences and they try to push them into a new relationship, right? And well, you know what happens when you try to adapt a new relationship to something that you were doing in an old relationship, right? It literally ruins the new relationship. It literally changes the full dynamic of the relationship that you could have had because you weren't healed. You were just masking it. You were just trying not to show it. And in trying not to show it, you ruined a new opportunity that was placed in your hands, something that could have changed your life, something that could have made things a lot better for you if you had opened up properly, right? Because you're not always going to get the person in your life that understands that. It is not always going to happen. You are not always going to say, a person not always going to say, oh, they're just dealing with problems from the past and I'll just give them some time to work through it. No, that's not going to happen. Right? People are inherently selfish, right? So when they see you acting in a certain way, they're going to begin to distance themselves, okay? They're going to begin to distance themselves and realize that, hey, you are not over what you were dealing with from your past. So understand that, guys, because it can shape and mold how your life turns out, right? And it's just not in relationships. It could be in jobs for an employer, right? You know, you had a bad employee experience or employer experience, and you take that to a new job or a new situation. It can be that, man. It can be friendships, right? You know, certain betrayal in a friendship. It can be that. So understand these things, right? You have to heal from them when they happen to you. And it's a process of healing that we all have to go through, man, in order to move forward with our life. And we can't truly move forward until we're healed from it. And that healing may take days, weeks, months, or years. But either way, man, you got to work your way through it. You got to work your way through it before you put yourself in that type of situation again, man. So, guys, when faced with challenges that causes pain, it is our natural instinct to run away, right? We always run away. But we have to fight that urge, man. We have to fight that urge and learn and lean into our pain, right? I know it sounds so illogical, but in order to get through a certain traumatic experience, we have to lean into that pain. We have to lean into understanding what happened or how it happened or why it happened. Just leaning into that pain makes all of the difference on how your life is going to turn out. Pain is a process. And if you interrupt the process with a bunch of lies, right, by trying to suppress it, you're not going to get the full benefit or the lesson out of what you're trying to deal with in life, right, in that pain. So, as I talked about, right, it's our natural instinct to run. And it is actually at this other side of the pain, that's what the point I was trying to get, guys. It's actually at the other side of this pain that we find our most profound answers. It is the pain that we have to go through that is stopping us. So a lot of times, guys, what we don't realize is when we are running from pain, we're literally running in the opposite direction of the answers that we need to find out in order to move forward in our lives. That's what we're doing. We're running in the opposite direction of the answers. So I tell you guys, listen, move toward pain. Move toward the pain, right? And I'm not trying to tell you to go out there and purposely get yourself hurt. I'm trying to tell you that when you dealing with a situation, that there are logical answers within the pain that you're feeling. You remember, as I told you guys many times over and over and over again, okay, within every adversity lies a seed of equal or greater equivalent. That's Napoleon Hill, by the way, who said that, and it is beyond true. But a lot of times when we're in pain, man, we don't look for that seed of equal or greater equivalent. We run from it, guys. So don't do that. Don't run from the pain. The answer is right on the other side of your struggle. Right on the other side of your struggle. So these answers, by the way, these answers give you, right, the true version of yourself, man, so that your decision-making process will be based on facts and not fiction, right? So now you're operating on facts. You're operating on truth. So that when you move on to a new relationship, when you move on to a new job, when you move on to a new business or a new experience, you are operating off of facts that you have accumulated by sorting through your pain and the things that you're dealing with and understanding why a certain situation happened. Not saying you suppress it, but truly understanding why, okay? Because when you start to understand your whys and your reasons, now you have a much calmer version of yourself as you move forward in your life. And I think that is truly, truly important, guys. Now, one of our greatest challenges in life is not with the rest of the world, right? Competing against the rest of the world. That is not one of our greatest challenges, believe it or not, right? Our greatest challenge is within ourselves. And the reason why I say this, guys, is once you understand this, right, you will soon realize that you do not need to conquer the world, right? You only need to constantly work at conquering yourself, dealing with the pain and dealing with the true understanding of your life, right? Not life in general, but your life. Because you have to daily be working on becoming the best you can be. And it's daily work. It is constant work, constant friction, constant learning, constant pain, backing off, reevaluating, finding people who have walked that path, okay, and trying your best to find your own groove, okay, in the same path that they walk, right? Because you can't always do exactly how other people have done, but you want to emulate as best possible if you really truly admire the type of life that they're living. And I'm not just talking about the luxuries of people's lives. I'm talking about great relationships and true happiness and joy and great health. I mean, there's tons of things that go beyond just wealth, right? I mean, wealth gives you a whole lot of conveniences, and that's the truth, right? Having money, it gives you a whole lot of conveniences, but there are other factors in life like your health and relationships that truly add to your happiness. So understand that part when you are out there thinking about conquering the world, when you know you should be conquering yourself, working at yourself. And it is that battle within yourself, right, that you need to learn to master, right? You need to learn to master. And every day is going to be a new beast to master within yourself. And so that is the whole importance for me of just writing it down and knowing what I'm going up against, right? So at least if I may not have the answer each and every day, but it's the knowing what I'm going up against and writing it down and being able to come back to my notes and go ahead and go at it again another day is what allows me to have enough endurance and resilience to keep going on and on and on despite the obstacles, guys, despite the obstacles, right? Pain, heartache, and defeat will come for all of us, guys. It is going to come for all of us. But it is within that defeat, right? It is within that defeat that you will find the answers to your success, right? It is just, I don't know how many people I know, they will sit there and they will avoid a fight, right? And I don't mean a physical fight, but it can be a physical fight. I've had plenty of those in my day and age. But they will literally avoid a fight to avoid to lose, okay? Even if their success can be on the other end of that fight, right? And so in doing that, man, in doing that, I just want you guys to understand that in every defeat, you have to begin to learn, right? You have to learn what it takes from your defeats. You have to take some notes, man. Write some things down. This is why it's so important for me to write down my thoughts in my journal all the time, right? Constantly writing down my thoughts and things that are on my mind. It is so important to write things down because now I have a reference point, right? Because a lot of times when you go through emotions and feelings, in 5 minutes you're going through some other emotions and you're not even thinking about the ones you were going through before that could have been life-changing. It could have been life-changing. So understand that and start to write things down, right? It has been many times that after seeing what I was feeling written on paper that I realized my mind was playing tricks on me, right? It wasn't nobody out there. It was nobody but my mind playing tricks on me, and it was trying to get me to run in the opposite direction of my pain. That is what my mind was trying to do, guys. And that is what a lot of your minds will do. It will try to get you to run in the opposite direction of pain, right? Because it knows, right, subconsciously that your answer is on the other end. But in order to get there, it is very, very painful. And so our minds don't want to go through that process. But we have to recondition ourselves to allow us to go through the process of pain in order to get the answers on the other side, right? But listen to this, guys. Through this process, right? Through this whole process, I have learned that I must endure. I must endure, man. I must endure the hardships. I must endure the difficulties. And sometimes I must endure the pain, okay, so that I can see success on the other side. And you guys have to do the same thing. Sometimes you have to endure, man. Endure to endure to endure, right? Over and over again, each and every day. You just got to get up and go at it one more time. You never know when the answer is going to show up. So you just got to keep going, keep working at yourself, and keep striving to have a better life, man. And I'll tell you guys, you know, my mom used to say that it is the trials and tribulations that you allow, that you go through in life, is the trials and tribulations that you go through in life that allows you to see the true joy of life itself. So thanks, Mom, for just popping into my head just that minute real quick. Had to think about it. But anyway, guys, I had to say one more thing before I wrap it up today, and that is, guys, understand what you want out of life. Understand what you want out of life. Understand what you want out of life so much that you're willing to go through the pain to get it, right? And the pain to get it means I need you guys to start writing down some of the things that you're going through so that you can work through them. So that you can work through them, and you may have to relive some serious incidents in your life and get them out on paper and see them and deal with them. Deal with them so that you can move forward, so that you don't bring them into no relationship, so that you don't bring them into your business, so that you don't bring them into all the other factors of your life. Work through this stuff, guys. This stuff is life-changing that I'm talking about, man. And also, man, dream hard. Dream hard and dream big. You want to know why I want you to dream hard and dream big? Because number one, right, weak dreams inspire weak efforts, right? And number two, right, when you dream big, it drives you with a very, very strong why. And that why you're going to need to pull you through all of that pain to see the other side of what you're trying to achieve in life. All right, so remember that, man. But listen, I'm going to wrap it up for the day. You guys make sure you go on over to lieutenantsalblue.com, pick up your copy, your autographed copy of my book, Top 25 Mistakes en Route to the Good Life, as well as check me out on all the social media platforms, guys. I'm talking TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Reddit, Blogger, Facebook, Snapchat. I think I said all of them. And DM me on what you'd like for me to talk about in my next daily podcast. So tomorrow's Thanksgiving, right? I'm getting up early and doing an early podcast. But if you guys don't see this till later on in the day, you make sure you have an incredible Thanksgiving dinner. Enjoy the family. Be grateful. Be happy. And get out there and enjoy life, man. And work through some things, all right? This is Lieutenant Sal Blue signing off and wrapping it up. I will talk to you guys tomorrow on Thanksgiving, all right? Deuces.